Okay guys, this is incredible. I was just about to give up hope on nickels, then I opened this roll right here. You guys see what I'm looking at? Right there, that definitely is not a Jefferson nickel. Are you ready to see this? There's the buffalo. 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody and welcome back to Coin Shortage Hunting. Today I'm back with another 10 rolls of nickels, quarters, dimes, and pennies, and unfortunately that's the only thing that I'm able to get from my bank right now. That of course is because of the national coin shortage, which has greatly limited the amount of coins in circulation. Unfortunately, because of rising cases of you-know-what across the country, especially in Michigan, and with the lockdowns that actually just went into place today, I don't see this coin shortage going away anytime soon. So things aren't looking too good right now. The good news is we still do have coin roll hunting in some capacity here in Michigan. I'm able to get 10 rolls of each denomination per week, and that's what I have laid out here in front of me. The plan is to look through all 40 of these coin rolls for interesting and valuable coins such as silver in the quarters, dimes, and nickels, and old coins all across the board. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this hunt. So let's start by taking a look at some of the best enders that I've identified out of this batch of coins. So one of the best stories in this little batch right here is definitely going to be the quarters. If we look at this, you see we have a nice looking coin right there and another nice one right there. We still don't know what kind of coins we're dealing with though. But if you look at this one right here, you actually see a 2020 Salt River Bay quarter. And I've actually been able to determine that just looking at all these ends, you see a ton of these Salt River Bay quarters, which actually gives us a really good chance at finding one of the 2020 West Point quarters, because we know that these coins have not been searched through yet. So I'm really excited to get into these. Hopefully we can find one of those very rare and very sought after West Point coins. Another really interesting thing I noticed while looking at the enders of these coins was these two nickel rolls right here. So let's take a look here. If you actually look at the end of this one, that one definitely looks old. You can see it has a small Denver mint mark there. To the right of the Monticello, it's just barely visible, and I'll close that end up now and go to the other end, and basically what we're going to see is the exact same thing. Another old looking coin, another Denver mint mark as well. And then if we look at this second roll right here, it's the exact same as this first one. That's the only two in the batch that were like this. The first ender is just a 1980s coin, nothing really crazy there. But then on the other end, and I don't think that this is a coincidence, we have yet again another early 60s coin right there. So I'm really excited about these two rolls right here because I think we may have actually stumbled upon a small collection dump. And then as far as dimes are concerned, this roll right here was the only roll that had this weird marking on it, this little black line. I don't know why somebody marked it that way. There's all kinds of reasons that somebody would mark a roll. Sometimes that means because there's silver in there or something else valuable, but this dime just looks really weird and it kind of looks older. It's sort of like a rusty color though. It's definitely not what you're used to seeing with a dime. And then if we actually flip over to this other side, we have basically the same thing. You can see right here, rusty dime. Now guys, as far as pennies go, there wasn't a whole lot to report for enders, so we're going to be pushing the pennies and dimes to the side as well as the quarters. We're going to be starting with nickels today. As I showed you a little bit earlier, here is our nickel tray. We have two over here which look like they may be filled with some early coins. I'm going to be grabbing those first and we're going to be going through those live. So let's go ahead and pull those out and just take a look at those enders one more time before we open them up for good. So remember, this is the roll right here which had two Denver reverse enders, and we're going to be dumping this out, hoping for a small collection dump. I would feel really stupid if this was just a complete coincidence and there was only a couple on the ends. But actually guys, opening this up now and looking at it, a bunch of these look older. Some of them don't. I will grant that some of them do not look older, but some of the ones over here, especially this one right here, looks very old. I guess it's only a 60s, but that's pretty old. You know, it's been a while since the 60s. I am seeing a lot of 60, 64, 61, 62, and man, they look old, but that's not what we keep typically. I keep everything before 1960 and don't really keep the 1960s themselves. I was hoping for a little bit older coins in here, but I am still surprised to see this high number of 1960s coins with these 62, 63, 64. It's like somebody just put all of their 1960 coins into a single roll and just put them here so that, I don't know, it's sort of almost like a prank because it's kind of like a collection dump, but these coins aren't really worth anything. They're just all 1960s. So I guess there isn't any keepers in that, surprisingly. Let's go ahead and get this second one dumped out here and see if we're going to get any keepers on this one. Remember, this one had a 1980s ender as well, so this one I'm a little less hopeful for, I guess, because we know that it's definitely not going to be full 1960s. Opening it up, it looks about the same as the first one. These two coins are stuck together. I think I'm probably just going to leave that alone. But yeah, looking for anything pre-1960s, also looking for 2009s. That's something that does pop up from time to time. There's our oldest one so far. That's actually 1960. I think that's another 1960 right there. But that's the oldest one that we have been able to find so far. You see a coin like this right here. That looks super duper old, but it's just 1961. As are most of the coins that we have been able to get so far. So let me pull these over here so you guys can see. I was hoping for something a little bit older than what we are seeing right now. But that's still cool, guys. We are getting a ton of 1960s. Definitely a small collection dump. It looks like this collector just didn't really know what they were doing or what they were looking for. So that's 2 rolls gone. Don't really have any keepers yet. Let's just go ahead and open one more here and see if we're able to get something out of it that's actually worth keeping. So I'm actually going to rip this one because it's being a little bit of a pain in the butt to open. All right, so there is our fresh roll right there. And let's go ahead and go through this and see if we can get something worth keeping. Like I said, I'm looking for pre-1960s, so the 50s and the 40s. The Jefferson nickel actually began in 1938, so if you find one before that, you're looking at a Buffalo nickel. They are much easier, or rather, they're very easy to distinguish from the Jefferson nickels. Now this one right here actually looks like it may have some promise. And if it was in the other roll, I'd say, well, that's probably a 1961 or something like that. But I don't know. This might be a little bit older. So let's go ahead and flip this over and see if we get a keeper, guys. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go, guys. 1940, one of the very first Jefferson nickels that you can find. Unfortunately, it is a Philadelphia mint. You can see we don't have a mint mark there on the back side like we did with those Denver reverses in the beginning. But that's still cool to find. It's a very old coin and definitely one that I'll be adding to the collection. So let's go ahead and get into the rest of the rolls over here. We have 7 more to go. I'll turn the camera back on if I find something good. I'm looking forward to see what else we can get out of the nickels and definitely looking forward to the quarters. Okay, guys, this is incredible. I was just about to give up hope on nickels. I've only found that 1940 so far and I'm on the second to last roll. Then I opened this roll right here. Do you guys see what I'm looking at? Right there, that definitely is not a Jefferson nickel. As a matter of fact, that right there is going to be a Buffalo nickel. Now the question is it going to have a date on it? A lot of these coins end up getting so worn out that they do not have dates. And let's go ahead and try to zoom in on this a little bit so we can kind of get into that date area. Now looking at that, guys, I think we definitely have a date, and this is a lot sharper than it looks on initial inspection. You can see we have 1926 right there, loud and clear. And like I told you guys earlier, the pre-1938 nickels are actually Buffalo nickels, and so we're going to flip over to the reverse here to take a look at that Buffalo and see what we get for a mint mark. Guys, are you ready to see this? There's the Buffalo. 3, 2, 1. Unfortunately, we do not have a mint mark. If we did, it would be down there between the E and C on 5 cents. So that means that this is a 1926 Philadelphia. But that is an awesome, awesome find, guys. It's been so long since I found one of these. I've been looking for them after nickel box over nickel box, which I can't get anymore, by the way. But these 10 rolls right here were able to give it to me, and it's in fantastic shape. That's probably the best Buffalo nickel that I have ever found. They typically don't come out in nice shape like that. And I think that the reverse actually looks quite a bit better than the obverse. Really nice lettering, everything's showing through. A lot of details on that bison as well. 1926 Philadelphia Buffalo nickel, guys. It really doesn't get any better than that. Oh, there we go. We got a 1958. There's another nice thing to come out of this roll right here. Let's take a look at that. So 1958, if we actually get a Philadelphia on this one, then that's a low mintage coin, which is definitely preferable to the 58 Denver. So let's flip this over, see if we get a 58 Philly, guys. 3, 2, 1. And unfortunately, it's just going to be a Denver. That's all right, though. The mint marks are just not going our way today. But I'm definitely happy to get what we can, especially with a Buffalo nickel. You really can't complain. All right, so that is going to be it for that roll. We have one more roll to go right here, and I just noticed that we have the Buffalo nickel staring us right there. 1913 to 1938, guys. If we can get before 1913, we're talking about a V-nickel. Matter of fact, if we can get the 1913 V-nickel, that's like $1 million or something right there. I think there's only 5 of them known, and there's rumors that there's a 6th one out there somewhere, so that's why people are still kind of excited about it. But I kind of doubt it. It's probably, I don't know. It'd be pretty crazy for it to turn up in a roll and not be a fake. But anyways, there is our final roll right there, guys. Let's see if we're going to get another Buffalo nickel out of it. Would be very happy with that. Would also just be happy with anything pre-1960s. We've been kind of unlucky with that so far in this roll, or in this this group of 10 rolls. Like I said, we've only got a couple of them, the 58 and the 1940. But like I said, it's pretty hard to beat a Buffalo nickel, especially in such great shape. And I didn't even have to use a Nick-a-date to reveal the date on that one. So let's get the rest of these on camera to make sure you guys can see them and go through them. Oh, there we go. Right at the very end, we're able to grab a 1956. Let's take a look at that right there. 1956, that's pretty nice looking coin right there. And flip it over to the back side, and we do not have a mint mark. I don't remember if that's good or bad. I don't think either one of them has low mintage. Unfortunately, guys, I've been seeing these little hairs in these rolls, and that is why we wear gloves. So definitely want to be wearing gloves if you're coin roll hunting. But that is going to be it for the nickels. We got that 1926 Buffalo nickel, very, very nice condition. With that, we're going to move on to the quarters, which I'm super excited to get into. But before we do that, if you're interested in picking up one of these nickel placemats for yourself to aid you in your nickel roll hunting, you can head on over to quinscoins.com, and I'll be putting links down in the description below. You can see we have all the different types of coins that you can find in your nickel rolls across the front of it. And then on the back side, we have a score sheet, which we use to rank the boxes. We also use these in competition hunts, very useful, as well as these key date low mintage and low mintage Buffalo nickel ranges. Once again, I'll be putting a link down in the description below. Quinscoins.com is the place to go. Now to begin our search into some 2020 quarter rolls, and with that, I'm going to be grabbing our silver stacking placemat. Of course, we know that we're not going to be finding any silver in these rolls today, but we do have the chance for a West Point quarter, which actually is displayed pretty prominently here on the back side, right in the middle of the placemat as well. The West Point quarters from 2019 to date, that's 2019 and 2020, and these quarters are super rare, super sought after. They only made 10 million of the West Point quarters each year and dispersed them amongst these 2020 rolls, and some of them have made their way into circulation, but the vast majority of them are being found in rolls just like this. So I'm very excited to get into these, and hopefully we can get ourselves some West Point quarters. So jumping into our first roll now, you can see this is the Salt River Bay quarter like I showed in the beginning of the episode. All of these I predict are going to be Salt River Bay. That's just how they package them, and I believe that these ones are predominantly going to be from the Philadelphia Mint. I did see the Philadelphia Mint mark on a couple of the coins in the roll. Let's take a look at how shiny this is going to be. Look at that. I've never opened a roll of all brand new quarters. These have never been searched, never touched by anybody. Look at how shiny they are. That is just incredible. You can see every single one is the same, but hopefully some of these are not, because we do want to see that West Point quarter come out for us. So let's just dump these out now, and I'm going to try not to get any markings on them in any way, because I don't want to be scratching up these coins, especially as they are in basically mint state. These are all BU condition. You can see we do have quite a few Philadelphia mint marks, so I think that's where these are going to be from. Guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think I should do with all of these Philadelphia coins. I don't want to dump them back in the box over there, and I don't want to be too rough with them like I typically am with some coins. So let's just go ahead and keep going through these now, and I'll flip them over, just being very, very careful not to put any marks or nicks on them in any way, and just looking for that W mint mark. I haven't found one yet. I am seeing all Philadelphia so far. So what I'll probably do at this point is put this on a time lapse, and we'll go ahead and go through it and see if we can get any. Alright, so roll number 1 is done. We didn't get any W's. I did find something sort of interesting though. If you take a look at this, this is pretty crazy, guys. It's weird to see something like this come out in a BU roll. What the heck is all of that stuff on that coin, especially up there on the top right side? How does that happen? Straight out of the mint. Not really sure what I am seeing, But that's interesting to see that, they don't come out in as nice condition as you might expect. At least not all of them do. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into another roll. I'll put it on time lapse once again, and we'll see if we can get any W's out of there. Okay, so 2 rolls down, still no W's, unfortunately. I have 8 more rolls to go, though. I think we have a good chance of getting a West Point coin. All right, guys, I'm at the halfway point now. We have 5 more rolls to go, still no W. I am amazed at how difficult these are to find, and I'm just super shocked now. Going back to the first episode, we had a W ender, and we were able to pull that out of regular circulation coins. Here we have a whole bunch of 2020 BU unchecked coins, and we can't even get a W out of it. All right, guys, this is sort of weird. No W yet. We're on our second to last roll, similar to like we had in the nickels. And I think I actually see a coin right there that does not belong in this roll. So perhaps these are not completely uncirculated. Now, I have no idea how this happens, but you can see that one of those coins is definitely very circulated compared to all these other ones, which look really nice and shiny. This one right here does not look so nice or so shiny. So let's pull that one out and see what we have. We typically wouldn't be pulling out the non-shiny one. We'd usually look for the shiny ones. But let me pull that out real quick and see what kind of coin we're going to get. So at least we're getting something other than a Philadelphia. There's a Denver mint mark. I'm getting kind of tired of looking at the Philadelphia mint marks. And there we have North Carolina 2001 somehow made its way into this BU roll of coins. Now, I don't know if that means that these have been searched or not, because I still haven't found a W. I have heard that they can be pretty difficult to find, so I guess I'm not super surprised at that. But kind of weird to see that coin make its way into this supposedly BU uncirculated roll. As you can see, all of the other coins here look as you would expect. They look fairly uncirculated, so let's go ahead and continue the search here. Hopefully we can find that W in these last 2 rolls. Okay, so we're down to our last roll now, and that weird thing that just happened to us just happened again. We have another very circulated coin in amongst these uncirculated coins, so let's pull this one out and see what this one's going to be. I have no clue how these end up getting into these rolls, so it's definitely a mystery to me. It looks like we're going to have a New York here, and hopefully New York, we get some luck, and we get a West Point out of this final roll. That's 40 coins, I guess 39, since we can't count this coin right here. Pretty nice looking New York state quarter right there. But hopefully out of these 39 remaining coins, we can pull out a West Point quarter. And of course, it sort of went all over the place. So let's just do this one live here. Hopefully we can get a West Point out. But like I have said, I've pretty much only been seeing Philadelphia's and then the occasional circulated coin, which has been showing up for us there in the last couple rolls. Kind of weird that that waited for the last 2 rolls to show up with some circulated coins. But yeah, I don't know. All right, so lots and lots of Philadelphias. Guys, let me know down in the comments below what your experience has been looking for these West Point quarters, if you've found any of these uncirculated rolls, and what your luck has been like. I think what happens is they get grouped in, and I know that it's supposed to be randomly selected, that these coins get randomly put into these rolls, but it's almost like they don't mix right, so that sometimes you strike big. Like if you get a lot like this, you could get maybe 4 W's out of it at once, and then a whole bunch of the lots elsewhere just have nothing. Like it looks like this one isn't going to have anything for us. I just checked every single coin. Take a look at the view on the table here. Isn't that wild? Man, that's a thumbnail right there. Look at all these beautiful, beautiful quarters, brilliantly uncirculated, and I don't know what to do with them because none of them have the West Point that we were looking for. So anyway, I will be pushing these off, and we're going to go ahead and get into some dimes next. So for the dimes, we're going to be sticking with the silver stacking placemat, which I used for the quarters as well. Again, if you want to get one of these for yourself, head on over to quinscoins.com. And once again, we have all the different types of dimes, quarters, and half dollars even that you can find in those types of rolls. Flipping over to the back side, we have some other things you can look for, as well as these edge pictures, which show you what the edges of coins are going to look like, whether you have a silver coin, a 90% silver, 40% silver, everything in between. It's all going to be right there on that placemat. You can get these at quinscoins.com, and I'll put links down in the description below. So guys, when it comes to dimes, we're mainly just going to be looking for silver. There isn't a whole lot else to look for. We do have this one interesting roll over here though that had these sort of rusty looking coins, and I did want to check that one out real quick on camera for you guys. Other than that though, I'll probably do most of the hunting off camera. There's not a whole lot to look at in dimes unless you find a silver one, which is pretty difficult to do. So you can see right there that this dime right here on the end, like I was saying, is sort of rusty. As a matter of fact, even that third one in looks like it's got sort of that weird rustiness to it as well. So I'm interested to see what we have in this roll right here. What the heck, guys? Look at that. They're all like that. It looks like they've been in some sort of water damage. Now, most of these dimes are going to be a lot of copper, but that's not typically the color that you get from a copper coin, is it? That's a 1965 right there with a whole bunch of orange stuff on it. Look, it's even getting on my gloves. Super weird stuff, guys. I'm going to go ahead and look at the edges of these coins real quick to see if we can identify any silver. And it's actually sort of hard because we have all this yellow stuff, and you know, that could potentially mean silver, I guess, if it's just covered in rust. So I'm going to have to look at these pretty closely. I'm definitely getting it all over my gloves. This is a very interesting batch of dimes for sure. So I'm going to look real closely at these and let you guys know if I find anything silver. I mean, look at this one. That is completely covered in the stuff, and thank God I'm wearing gloves. Links for the gloves, by the way, down in the description below as well. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get into these and let you know what I find. So guys, nothing in that first roll except for a bunch of rusty dimes. The second roll, though, all of these coins over here are either 2019 or 2020, which gives me the idea that these may have actually been sorted by somebody. I mean, first we have that rusty roll, now we have the 2019-2020, and look right here, guys, right next to each other, back to back, are probably two of the most beautiful dimes that I have ever seen. I don't even want to touch them with these rusty gloves, but I think I'm just going to grab them by the edge here so we can take a look at them on camera. Let me just get that turned around. So let me zoom in here and get a zoom going. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful coin. 1974 Denver. Just a gem, especially for that age. And it's even got this nice toning to it, sort of like a gold toning. I don't know, this may have come out of some sort of set. It's just a beautiful coin. I'm definitely putting that one to the side. And let me grab the one right next to it as well. And we'll take a look at that one as well. So what do we have here? 1984. The first one we looked at was 1974. And there we have a 1984. Once again, that gold tone, you can kind of see it as I move that in the light. Definitely going to be putting that one to the side as well. Let's see if we have any more like that, guys. I saw what I thought was maybe one. Here's one right here. I think is another 1970s with that nice gold toning to it. Anyways, that's sort of the story of this roll. I'll pull out all of the ones that I see that look like that, and we'll get into the next one and see what else there is to find. I didn't see any silver in this roll, but hopefully we get some in the next. All right, so dimes turned out to basically be a bust. Other than those first really nice coins that we got out of that second roll, there wasn't a whole lot else other than a couple of little bit of misstrike on this one. You can see that rim on the left is way thicker than the rim on the right, and then sort of the same idea over here on the reverse. You can see the rim is pretty thick over there on the top, sort of top left. It actually is doubled almost on that top left on this coin right here. Nothing on that side. And this one right here almost gave me a heart attack. I thought we had a 1960 right there. It turns out, I think it's just a 68 or a 69. It's definitely not silver. You can tell by the edge of it right there. So that's unfortunate. No silver today, but we do have quite a few pretty cool dimes over there. And with that, we're going to get on to pennies, which is our last denomination for today's hunt. So for pennies today, we have a nice even spread of customer wrapped rolls and machine wrapped rolls. Hopefully we get a few keepers out of there. Of course, today, you guessed it, we're going to be using our penny placemat, which is also available for sale at quinscoins.com. Links will be down in the description below. Same thing as all the other ones. You have all the different types of pennies that you can find across the front of it. And then flipping over to the back side, we have our score sheet once again, as well as key date and low mintage ranges for Lincoln cents. So if you find a coin and you want to know if it's rare or not, definitely check these lists out to see if you have a rare coin. And once again, that'll be available at quinscoins.com, and links will be down in the description below. So guys, like I said in the beginning, we didn't have any super great enders for the pennies. That's why they are last in today's hunt. So I'm just going to be opening one machine wrapped roll and one customer wrapped roll, and we'll see how they do against each other. So let's take a look at this machine wrapped roll to start. You could see that one was wrapped by a machine. It was sealed, and that's how you know it's a machine wrapped roll. So we have a Canadian right there right off the bat. That's the first thing that I am seeing. And I get quite a few of these here in Michigan. That one's a 1982, nice copper coin. I will be putting that to the side. I like to keep all of the Canadian coins that I come across, whether they're new, old, or anything else. Of course, I do like to find the old ones a little bit more than I like finding the new ones. All right, so I'm not seeing anything that's going to be a keeper in my book yet. I do like to keep anything before 1959. That would be classified as a wheat penny, as you can see on the placemat right here. So it looks like that machine wrapped roll was a bust. We'll go for a customer wrapped roll now. They all look like this one right here. And customer wrapped rolls are sort of a gamble. Sometimes you get somebody else's coin roll hunting dump. Other times you get a collection dump. So, and then of course, you know, most of the time it's pretty similar to a machine wrapped roll in the sense that there's all kinds of different variety in there. So let's take a look and see if we're going to get anything on this customer wrapped roll. I will say it is looking a little bit better. I'm seeing a lot more copper in this one, and darker copper at that, which means we might have some older coins. So right here, actually, we are going to get something that would be worth a point on our score sheet. This is a 2009 cent. These are fairly rare, and you can see right here, this is the first one in the series. There's actually 4 different designs, and this is the first one. It's called Birth and Early Childhood, and that is a picture, I believe, of the log cabin that Abraham Lincoln grew up in. So kind of an interesting little design that they did in 2009. So I'll be putting that to the side. It looks like the customer wrapped rolls are going to be winning this one, and we have a whole bunch more coins to go through. So let's see if we get anything else of note on this customer wrapped roll. So once again, getting into some nice copper sections over here, hoping that we can get a wheat penny out. This one looks pretty old, but it looks like it's just going to be a 65. That is not going to cut it. And coming down to the end of the roll now, I'm not seeing anything that looks like it's going to be a wheat penny for us. So it looks like that 2009 is going to be the only find in that roll. Guys, we got 8 more rolls to go. I'm going to get into these and let you know if I find something good. All right, so the pennies kind of came and went. They were largely a bust. I did get a couple more interesting coins, though, out of them. A couple more 2009s. Here's another design for you, and then a double of the first one we got. And then we also were able to get a pretty old coin right here. This is actually a Canadian coin. It's pretty beat up as well, but we'll flip it over to the obverse here, or the reverse, I suppose, to see the date. 1960s, so these are sort of like the equivalent of an American wheat penny when you find these babies right here. So definitely a cool find right there. I am happy to have that. And with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get into the wrap-up on today's hunt. All right, guys, welcome to the wrap-up on today's hunt. We have a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get started. Definitely the best find of today's hunt was this buffalo nickel right here. This beautiful, beautiful coin. Just probably the best buffalo nickel I've ever found. The date on it is clearly 1926, and it's a Philadelphia. Really, really happy to have that. I think I definitely was right to pick nickels to go first in this hunt. So, and then we were also able to get a 1940, a 56, and a 58. And then as far as quarters go, as you can see, we have nothing in that row. All we had were 2020 Ps plus a few more circulated coins, which, you know, under any other circumstance wouldn't be very interesting. But so yeah, nothing to pull out for the quarters. Then we move over here to dimes. So you saw we had that one roll that had just a ton of really, really nice looking coins, and this is all of them. It looks like we have 10 of them in total, and they are all in fantastic shape. So I'm very happy to be pulling those out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, but it was cool to see. Unfortunately, no silver, though. And then moving on to the pennies. This is actually the first hunt that I've done probably ever where I didn't get any wheat pennies. We did get a few 2009s, though, a couple of birth and early childhood, and then formative years right there. And then on top of that, we were able to get a couple of Canadian coins. One of them much older than the other. This one's a 1960, and that is definitely a keeper in my book. So thanks for watching this hunt, guys. I hope you had fun. I am very happy, especially with that nickel right there. Definitely wasn't expecting that to come out for us today. I was hoping for a West Point quarter, actually. That's what I was most excited about trying to find, and unfortunately that didn't come out for us. But I will take a Buffalo nickel any day of the week, so definitely happy with that. Guys, just a quick reminder, if you want to pick up one or all of these coin roll hunting placemats to aid you in your coin roll hunting, we have penny placemats, nickel placemats, and silver stacking placemats. You can head on over to quinscoins.com, and I'll be putting links down in the description below. But with that being said, guys, that's going to pretty much do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go down below and leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, because I post new videos like this every single week. Always bring you along with the hunts and having a good time. And as always, I'm Quinn, and this is Quin's Coins signing out. And I will see you in the next one.